move on. We're going to talk about the Chicago Bulls. I'm going to tell you just how apathetic that Dante is about the Bulls. I said in the pre-show meeting, let's actually act like we give a fuck about these niggas to our Bulls fans who watch this fucking show. And now the Chicago Bulls, man, coming off a play-in appearance last year, they went 40-42. They had pretty much with anybody with an actual brain, the type of season they thought they were going to have. Coming into this year, Zach LaVine had a lot of trade rumors coming into the offseason. DeMar DeRozan's looking for a new contract. What's it called? Kobe White just got a new contract. They brought in Javon Carter. They brought in Torrey Craig to help the team a little bit more. I know they wanted to get rid of Andre Drummond, but that nigga said, you going to pay me. I'm opting into this player option. Before we get to the first one about Patrick Williams, now, of course, these moves aren't splashy. What do you guys feel about Javon Carter and Torrey Craig? As Dante looks like he's trying to struggle to find something good to say.
No, I'm gonna let Mikey go first. I'm gonna go last in every Bulls topic, probably all season. But Mikey, go ahead.
I mean, those moves make sense if you're actually trying to win something. Those moves make sense if you're the Boston Celtics, you're the Miami Heat, you're the Denver Nuggets, you're the Los Angeles Lakers. I do not understand what those moves do. We still, to this day, it is October 23rd. We do not have a solid option at point guard. Casey Johnson's been reporting that it's probably going to be Kobe White, a starting lineup of Kobe White, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Patrick Williams, and Vooch. You know, I don't. So where's the scoring coming from the second unit? If you're putting Kobe into that and into the starting lineup. So I like the moves. I have to preface this by saying I did not watch 1 second of Bulls preseason basketball.
But from what I've heard,
right, but what I've heard from my man Gordo, what I've heard from my man JP is that defensively, when you have Billy Donovan has some rotations out there where he had Caruso, Craig, and Carter, and they were giving teams fits. So defensively, I like that. But then you're telling me you have those three on the court. Where is the scoring coming from? Who are the other two on the court with them? So it's going to be interesting to see. The Bulls did not extend a contract extension to Patrick Williams today. So this is a make or break season for him. Whether they hoping he's betting on himself, I do not know. But it's going to be an interesting season for the Bulls.
Yeah, I'm gonna say. I mean, Mike, you said these are moves that are good if you're trying to win something, which I don't know what the fuck the Bulls are trying to do. I've been wanting Torrey Craig on this team really since the first year when Lonzo Ball was healthy, and I feel like that team, and that's also why, like, I get why AK is so hell bent on trying to make this work as a nigga who doubles down even when he knows he's on bullshit. I am a notorious double downer, even when I know I'm wrong. So as one hard-headed nigga to another, I get where Arturas Karnisovas is coming from. I like both moves for what they are. And I think what those moves have is you create a little bit more three-point shooting. Granted, these niggas were the worst three-point shooting team in the league last year. And don't hit me with no advanced stats. Well, technically they had this. Yeah, I know percentage-wise they weren't that bad, but when you only shoot a certain amount of games, it's like when you give me big men's field goal percentage. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't give a fuck about what Shaq's shooting for field goal percentage was. Nick was right by the fucking basketball hoop. So, to me, that's how I look at it when it comes to the three-point shooting. So, yes, Torrey Craig and a Javon Carter helps that a little bit, but it doesn't really move the needle for me personally. As far as, like, my expectations, and my expectations aren't hell. I should give up on the Bulls like I give up with the White Sox. Now, I'm going to give you the reason why I don't. And this is completely irrational, but it is what it is. The Bulls are my first love when it comes to sports. The reason I love sports right now is because of Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls. Now, I know that bald-headed bastard has been going out of my life for 25 years on my team. But I still watch the Bulls. Not all the time. If the Bulls can lose my interest. Like, I stopped watching the Bulls like mid-January last year. So I can quit on the season. I've done it before, and I will do it again if they play bad. My in-hell expectations, if they can at least be entertaining, play defense like they played in the preseason so far, and at least be somewhere within that 5 to 8 playoff range, I'll at least watch them on like a cold night in March when there's nothing else to do but to watch Zach and DeMar go 2-on-5. That's my personal feelings on the Bulls and what they've done so far.
And the end of that statement is really why I feel the way I feel about the Bulls. Like you said, a 5 day seed. Like they are not terrible. They're not great. They're good on some nights, borderline unwatchable on other nights. So it's just one of those things where my expectations are another middle of the pack season. We may be the last playoff team or a play-in team, and we're gonna lose in the first round. Like I don't have any expectations because there's nothing to expect from these niggas, and it's unfortunate because I actually like DeMar a lot. I like DeMar and Vooch, and a lot of this team was predicated on Lonzo Ball, which we haven't seen in 2 seasons. So I mean that's unfortunate, but like at this point with the Bulls, I'm used to shit being unfortunate. So I'm not gonna sit here and hope for anything. I will say Zach LaVine is healthy. He said this is the healthiest he's felt in a long time. Let's see how long that lasts. I think, one of the things about our offense that worked really well was actually, getting Vooch the ball. But when you have two guards like DeMar and Zach, he is a third option. So, yeah, he did average a double-double, but it's going to be nights where he's not, being utilized to the best of his abilities. So I think, with this team, it's gonna be like I said. It's gonna be some nights you're like, okay, I see why people like this team, and there's gonna be other nights. It's like, what the fuck is going on? Like you just said, those 3 guard lineups with the 2 free agent signings and Caruso. Who's gonna score the ball? Like and who is legit gonna score the ball? And we gonna talk about y'all boy, which you, yeah, the Bulls, Chicago Bulls. Chicago Bulls. Let's fucking.
Hey, the local hour guy Dante in hell.
I just can't believe this shit.
Yeah, that nigga had to stop himself from what he was gonna say. And that's a perfect segue to Patrick Williams. Now, I will say that if you're going to spend money on motherfucking shit at fucking United Center, spend money to go watch the God Connor Bedard. That's where you need to be putting your coins at, not go to see these sorry ass niggas, man. But let me put my media hat back on. Let me take my fan hat back off. Media hat back on. Let's talk about Patrick Williams, number 1 draft pick from a couple years ago, from a basketball podcast me and Dante once had, which is Ball Don't Lie. We talked about what happened when the nigga got drafted. Me being a positive nigga that I am, I said, we'll wait and see. Dante from jump said, what the fuck is this shit? What the fuck is this shit? What the fuck are y'all doing? Only thing he got in common with Kawhi is them niggas got braids. You can go back and find that episode and it's somewhere in the Barber's Chair archives. My question to y'all, especially with him not getting a qualifying offer today, it's a make or break year from Patrick Williams. What does Patrick Williams have to do for you guys to have him be a part of this team going forward?
Not be a fucking florist. I mean, I don't understand. Okay, you look at Jaden McDaniels' contract today, right? Same class, everything. Jaden McDaniels averaging around 13 points a game. Last year, Patrick Williams averaged 10 points a game. That's cool. Do you see Patrick Williams taking the jump to averaging 15 points a game as the what is he? The 4th option on this team? I don't see it. I don't see it. So that would warrant, I don't see it as long as DeMar DeRozan is on the team. So I normally do not tune in. I watch Bulls basketball as long as I'm free. I tune in and I watch it, but I don't have heavy interest in it. I will have heavy interest in the Bulls basketball for these first 2 months because if Patrick Williams is kind of taking a step, but the team isn't really doing so well, I 100% see DeMar DeRozan being traded in early 2020. What are we going into? 2024, right before the trade deadline. So for Patrick Williams, you want to see rebounding. You want to see him not be scared to actually put the ball on the ground and actually try to, assert himself offensively. Because there are many times we've seen it in the Billy Donovan tenure where Patrick Williams just doesn't even see the floor in crunch time situations because he's a liability offensively. He's just standing in the corner. So you want to see aggressiveness. You want to see assertiveness. I'm just trying to figure out where that happens. Where, like how Scott said, Zach and DeMar play 2-on-5. You got to give Vooch his touches. And where is Patrick Williams getting his 15 points a game? Where is he getting his 10 to 12 shots a game?
I mean, yeah, to answer that, do I think he can average 15 points a game? If nobody else is on this team, yes. Yes, if there was nobody else in this team, sure. He has too much of a calm demeanor, too much of a nonchalant demeanor to tell those ball hogging niggas in DeMar and Zach, give me the goddamn ball. He doesn't have that in him enough to me to believe he can average 15 points. He has the potential, but like we've been talking about since this motherfucker got drafted, potential. If he had that dog of, yo, give me the basketball, and I honestly feel Zach and DeMar would give him the ball more if they knew he was aggressive 24/7. They don't give him the ball more because they know he's not aggressive. It's not just, oh, we don't want to give Pat the ball. So I think I have no expectations for this dude. None. I can't tell you what he's going to do this year. I don't fucking know what he's going to do this year. He could average 10 points a game. He could average 18. He could actually click. Maybe the fact that his financial future is on the line, maybe he'll be more aggressive. If I knew I had $20 million here on the line, I'd be like, hey, maybe I should shoot the goddamn basketball. So I don't have no expectations for him. It's just really wait and see. But if he does, we say this all the time, but if he does make the leap to like a 15 points per game, that changes this team's trajectory significantly, in my personal opinion.
With everything y'all have just said, how can I legit expect anything from this man? Like, because I mean, with the way the team is structured and what I would want from him in order to give him a new contract, he's not going to sniff anywhere close to 15 points a game. Like, we could say, okay, make a jump and make more of an impact on the defensive end of the ball, but yeah, that's only going to go so far. At this point, you still want to see a guy you selected with the 4th overall pick put the ball in the bucket. And, you know, at this point, he has not done that at a consistent clip. So, in order for him to be on this roster after next season, he will legit have to go nuclear. And I mean, go crazy to the point where they moved DeMar because they're like, okay, we want to give DeMar shots to Pete Will. And we all know that ain't going to fucking happen. So it is a make or break season, but I think that shit going to break. And the more we talk about it, I just talked about all of Ryan Pohl's draft picks. But AK is right there. Where's Dalen Terry? Where is, you know, AO is a backup, but what are we going to see from AO? It's once again with the pieces you do have, the draft picks that are, you know, the way you get cheap talent in there, you failed. You know, you passed on Halliburton. We don't have, I'm sure Lotto still tells you about that, but it's one of those things where
yeah, as soon as I see that nigga Lotto next week, I know that's first thing he gonna
that's the first thing he gonna say.
Of course.
What did the Flores do? He gonna ask you, right? What did the Flores do? Did he get a contract? Because Halliburton did. Like that's
Halliburton got a max in a draft where we needed a point guard, but instead they went the Lonzo route, and obviously nobody would have foresaw what happened to Lonzo. But still, you go and get Halliburton, you don't have to spend that money on the point guard. You can go and address your team in other ways. And Halliburton was not a sure thing, but at the very least, he was a starting level point guard on a team that needed a distributor, that needed a playmaker. He came into his own scoring, and the rest is history. But yeah, like, I will never get over that pick because it made so much sense with who the running mates were.
Yeah. We're gonna do this last thing, and then we're gonna wrap this up because Game 7 comes on in 5 minutes.
And Monday Night Football.
And quick question. We talked about DeMar DeRozan. There's been a lot of trade chatter if the Bulls season goes left. ESPN's Brian Windhorst said that he could be a trade candidate if things don't go well, and more importantly, if he doesn't reach a contract extension with the Chicago Bulls. I will answer first. I think DeMar's going to stay because I think that as we go back to AK and his stubbornness, AK wants to let you know these moves he made worked. And honestly, I like DeMar move. I was kind of questioning about it when it happened, but if there's any move, DeMar move has actually worked out. Now, if you want to talk about, I don't think he should be getting the amount of money that he probably wants because no, nigga, you my age, like so probably not. But I think just because of his double downness and he just gave Vooch his money, I think DeMar DeRozan is going to get some type of extension. And I don't think he'll be traded. What do y'all think?
Like I said, the only way I see him being moved is if P. Will starts to show you flashing, and it's like, all right, we got to get this dude to Baltimore, but that ain't gonna fucking happen. So no, DeMar DeRozan will end his career with the Chicago Bulls.
I mean, if they come out the gate kind of flat and they have a losing record in December, then I think it's a perfect chance that he might be traded.